Unidentified flying object with a strange shape, between Glenwood Springs and Aspen, Colorado on December 20th. On December 22nd, an unidentified flying object was photographed near a plane in Adelaide, South Australia. An unidentified flying object in the form of several consecutive lights passes over the Rieserferner-Ahrn Nature Park, Italy, on December 8th. Unidentified flying object in the form of a metal cylinder in the sky of Rockford, Illinois on July 10th. Spherical pulsating UFO in the skies over Park City, Utah, USA on December 18th. Two unidentified flying objects, UFOs, fly at low altitude in the backyard of a house in Grand Forks, Dakota, at night on October 30th. Unidentified flying object with a strange shape, between Glenwood Springs and Aspen, Colorado on December 20th. After testing the original image and editing it using computer programs, we did not find any evidence of a thread related to the UFO, which rules out the idea that it was just a kite, as some commented on the scene. A kite. Some interpreted the sighting as a helicopter of some kind, but we have never seen a known aircraft in this strange form. The witness says, "When the photo is downsized to a normal view, the object looks like a speck of dust. I enlarged the photo in Photoshop and tried to use a sharpening tool to see what the object is. I still can't tell exactly what it is." On December 22nd, an unidentified flying object was photographed near a plane in Adelaide, South Australia. For a very short period of time, not exceeding 10 seconds, an unidentified flying object appeared, metallic, in silver color, in the form of a cigar, near one of the commercial planes. The unidentified flying object does not contain any blades or wings, but is a completely smooth flying object as if it floats in the sky, defying all known laws of physics. The witness describes this strange sighting, saying, "While photographing an aircraft passing over my house, I noticed a dark cigar-shaped object fly past the aircraft at speed. I was lucky enough to get a photo. The object was traveling from the east and heading west as it passed the aircraft. The duration of the sighting would have been no longer than 5 to 6 seconds. An unidentified flying object in the form of several consecutive lights passes over the Rieserferner-Ahrn Nature Park, Italy, on December 8th. An unidentified flying object in the form of several lights passed over the Rieserferner-Ahrn Nature Park. The park is characterized by diversity. The Rieserferner-Ahrn is characterized by high mountains with rugged peaks and eternal ice, marginal habitat and tightrope walk for animals and plants, but also for humans. Mountain lakes and waterfalls, rocks such as the Zentralgneis, the Tauern Window and the Rieserferner-Ahrn, animals such as golden eagles and peregrine falcons, plants such as dwarf willow and the sticky primrose are among the features of the park. In fact, this was not the first time that we saw such an unknown flying object. In one of the rocket launches in France into space, the same unidentified flying object appeared near the rocket that was launched, and the strange thing is that the launch failed. One of the witnesses says, "For lights in a row, traveling from left to right in the evening sky. Just along the bottom of the sky as it turns darker. If we assume that it is a secret technology, what is the reason for its appearance in more than one place, first in France and then in Italy? And if so, was the unidentified flying object that appeared in France responsible for the failure of the launch? And if that's the case, what does Italy have to do with this secret technology? And if it was a secret French technology, is it reasonable for France to use its own technology to thwart the launch of its own missile? I don't think so. There is something mysterious about this sighting. And I think that if it is a secret technology, it does not belong to France or even Italy. As for the explanation based on the fact that it is a technology from outside the planet, that monitors and prevents harmful experiments from launching missiles and others, it is still a possibility, and I strongly love the statement of many military officials and researchers in unidentified flying objects about that. Unidentified flying object in the form of a metal cylinder in the sky of Rockford, Illinois on July 10th. Several pictures were taken of the object of an unknown metallic cylindrical that moves slowly and steadily in the sky without making any sound, as it is not affected by the wind and moves in a fixed path. Reviewing the footage, there is no evidence that it is just a balloon, and the balloon does not move in this fixed way and is affected by wind speed, and this is what did not happen with this unknown flying object. The witness describes it, saying, "I was sitting in backyard looking at cloud formations. I noticed a silvery metallic cylinder with rounded ends. I grabbed my phone and took 3 pictures. It is very small in the picture, but I estimate its length to be 10 to 20 feet long and maybe 6 to 8 feet in diameter. It was coming from the northeast, moving about 20 to 30 miles per hour to the west. It disappeared from view as it approached the western horizon below the sun. At first thought it might be a mylar balloon, but I have never seen a balloon hold a stable heading and altitude and not roll, yaw or spin. It moved in an intentional sort of way. The wind speed that day was around 8 to 10 miles per hour blowing west. Temperature was around 80 degrees. Spherical pulsating UFO in the skies over Park City, Utah, USA on December 18th. At first glance, the unidentified flying object appears to be a bright point in the sky, but after editing and zooming in, the bright point appears to be a non-metallic sphere with a plasma state. Completely fixed in the sky, and confirms that it was made with high technology. Although the conspiracy theory supporters saw the existence of secret technology that some countries hide from the public, and this opinion seems logical to many, but I do not think that there is a country around the world that possesses this high technology. The interpretation of supporters of the theory of the existence of extraterrestrial life remains the most logical explanation, as explained by researchers in the unidentified flying objects, that such light balls have many types and perform different tasks. 2 unidentified flying objects, UFOs, fly at low altitude in the backyard of a house in Grand Forks, Dakota, at night on October 30th. 2 relatively small UFOs in plasma condition, and no evidence of a metallic object. Flying at low altitude and moving randomly near the backyard of a house without making any sound. The 2 unidentified flying objects were flying at different heights in the sky, one higher than the other. An eyewitness says, describing the sighting, "I noticed the first translucent tic-tac object appearing just above the tree line in my backyard hovering. It suddenly disappeared. I was having a fire out back. My phone was in my hand. I turned my flashlight on. I noticed another object further away traveling. I turned off my flashlight and started recording. I couldn't see the object further away anymore. Then I found it while I was trying to focus in on the object traveling further away. The tic-tac appeared at 30 seconds into the video. It shot up, then slowed to a hover. It started to signal as if it knew I was watching, but it was watching me. All while trailing the other object traveling. I felt it was trying to distract me from watch where the second object was going. I tried my best to focus on both objects, trying to keep them in my screen visual. I was scared and remembered the feeling from a previous encounter. I have footage for 1 minute 38 seconds before they disappear.